How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is my regular Sunday bug, and I want to talk to you about everything that's happening right now in this campaign. First of all, every time they talk about almost anything they say, I'm talking about the Democrats. If you're a Democrat, by now, you ought to either be ashamed of yourself, ashamed to know a Democrat, ashamed that they even live in this country, and ashamed that you should even have anything to do with mentioning them. If they were my family, I would run away from them, or I would pretend I never heard of them, or I'd hide someplace in the basement so that nobody should connect me with them. These Democrats are making such fools out of themselves, and they look so stupid and ridiculous and obnoxious, and they unrelated to any reality of what's happening right now in this war. Kids are getting killed every single day, and we have the phony posturing and posing in the middle of a Memorial Day. What is Memorial Day? We're honoring the dead who have passed away in the different wars throughout the history of this country, who sacrificed their lives so that idiots like Edwards, who's walking around trying to find another $400 haircut and a $50 billion house, and is telling you about the divided America where some people are poor like it bothers him. If it bothers me that people are poor, would I take a $400 haircut? I'd give at least $200 of the haircut to a person who needs the money. Maybe I'd give $300 to the people who need the money. You think that everybody's walking around waiting for a president with a perfect haircut? Is he going to run on the basis of the best haircut or the best president? This man is a pathetic, ridiculous, irrelevant lowlife. How could you have any respect for him or vote for him? Especially at a time like this right now on Memorial Day, when he says everybody should find all the parades that are taking place in honor of our troops who have passed away in all the wars throughout their history, fighting for their lives and sacrificing their lives in order to protect lowlifes like Edwards. And he says what they should do is go to these parades and protest the war. This is the time to protest the war in the middle of a parade where you're honoring the dead. Imagine if you're at a funeral and you're honoring the passing away of your father or your mother or your family member. What would you think of a person who says, forget about honoring the past or the dead. Forget about their lives and what they meant to you, and the memories that it represents, and the sacrifices they made, and everything that it means to you personally, and all the emotional feelings that you're living through at a moment like this. At a time like this, would you like to hear from a lowlife like Edwards telling you, forget about that? This is the time to protest the war. War is something that's an ongoing thing now and in the future. The people who passed away already passed away. There's nothing you could do about protesting this now. A protest against the people who already died is not going to bring them back to life. And it's not going to save anybody. It's just going to dishonor the people who passed away. It's just going to dishonor their families. It's just going to make a mockery about everything they lived for and died for. So you make a mockery out of them on Memorial Day when you're supposed to be honoring them and treasure everything that they did to sacrifice themselves for you. You lowlife, I'm talking to you personally. Edwards, the man who's worried about a second-class America who unfortunately is not making a living, while he has a $50 million house or a $40 million house, and he's wondering which kind of luxuries he could buy from one second to the other. What's your sacrifice for the poor people of this country when you say it's terrible that they have no money? What have you given away to the poor? What have you done for the poor? It's like Al Gore, who keeps telling you about he cares and cares and cares so much about the underdog, the underprivileged, the people who are not doing as well. He cares about them so much. Then they found out that he gave something like $11 to charity one year and $10 the next year. And all the Democrats who don't even leave a tip on the table and never care about a waiter. And all the studies that were made that prove that the Democrats, no matter how much money they have, only give about 1/3 of as much money to charity as any Republican. They go into a restaurant to eat for $3,000 and they leave 80 cents of a tip. These people act like they're poverty-stricken themselves, and they care about the people who are poverty-stricken. You know how they express their concern for them? By giving them nothing. By campaigning everything for them. Everything is for them in your campaigns. You should give them everything. They should deprive them of everything, never care about them in any way, and running around looking for luxuries, boats, yachts, planes, and give them not even a tip, so that the person should starve to death because his life means nothing to you. You're a phony bunch of lowlifes. That's the truth about the Democrats. This is Memorial Day. Thank God for their sacrifices. Don't interrupt and make fun of it or start abusing it for your own personal election purposes. You're a lowlife if your election and your campaign is more important than the sacrifice of their lives.